Good afternoon. Welcome back to another afternoon tea review. Today we are in Marylebone because we are going to the Landmark. Now, their afternoon tea is one that I have heard is incredible. It's around £70 per person, so it's quite pricey. Let's go and see if it is worth the price point. Oh, and if you're new here to my channel, I'm Albertine. I live in London. I'm a bit of an afternoon tea connoisseur, so I like to take you guys along to review some of London's top afternoon teas so I can give you an honest opinion on whether or not they are worth spending the money on. If you have any that you specifically want me to review, let me know in the comments and I will try to film reviews for them. Without further ado, let's head into the Landmark. So I am just walking over there now from Marylebone station. It is actually right opposite the station, so super easy to get to. And here's the entrance. The entrance on this side isn't very impressive. If you enter through the other side of the building, it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing, but seeing as I came through Marylebone station, let's just go in here. I'm just walking over to where the afternoon teas are served. I can see some people having afternoon tea just through here. There is a pianist playing, which is really lovely. And this is the foyer of the Landmark. It is absolutely stunning. Look at these gorgeous flowers as well. Here's the pianist, and I believe here is where we're going to sit and have our afternoon tea. So I've just sat down for my afternoon tea. It is so lovely in here. I will insert some clips if I haven't already to show you what the restaurant looks like. So for afternoon tea, you sit in the Winter Garden restaurant, which is in the foyer, and it is absolutely stunning. It's such a lovely place to sit. As I mentioned before, there is a pianist playing, which just really adds to the ambience, which is lovely. So I'm having a look at the afternoon tea menu now. They have quite a few different teas that you can choose from. I'll show you all the ones that are available, and I think I am going to go for either a herbal tea or a fruit tea. I just thought I'd bring you closer to have a proper look at the menu. It is £75 per person with just tea, and then if you wanted to add champagne, it goes up to, I think, 88 it says there. But you get a selection of sandwiches here. So you get salmon and cream, egg mayonnaise, poached chicken and cucumber, and then you get some blueberry and lemon scones, which I'm really excited to try, with raspberry and white chocolate ganache, jams, clottage cream. That sounds incredible. And then you've got afternoon tea delights. So pavlova, chocolate mousse, a tartlet, a pistachio and raspberry chew. These all sound amazing. And they told me that these sandwiches are refillable. So if you really like them, you can get them refreshed. Same with the teas. The teas are unlimited. They've got 2 pages worth of teas to try. They've got classic kind of black teas, like Earl Grey, they've got green teas. I'm just going to turn the page so I can show you what's on the next page. So this is all the kind of herbal and fruit teas. I've gone for this one down here, the orange fruits tea, because they recommended this one to me and said it was really, really good. I literally ordered my tea a minute or so ago and it's already arrived, which is amazing. And like I mentioned, I went for the orange fruit tea. They pour it for you, which is really nice. It's touches like that make the higher price point, I think, more worth it. So I'm going to do a bit of a taste test and I'll let you know what I think. That is really nice and light. I like a fruit tea, as I've mentioned before, that definitely has a flavour to it. What I don't like is fruit teas where you can't taste anything and it just tastes like water. This is more of a light and a delicate flavour, but it's still a really nice one. And I think this is going to pair perfectly with the afternoon tea when it arrives. As soon as it arrives, I will show you what it looks like. I'm very excited to try this one. This has been on my to-try list for, honestly, years, I think. I've always said I need to go to the Landmark and have afternoon tea in their Winter Garden restaurant, so it's very exciting to be doing this today with you guys. The afternoon tea has arrived and it looks absolutely incredible. The presentation here is just so lovely. So if you're looking for a really special occasion, I definitely think this might be the place to come. Let's look through each tier. So at the top here we've got the sandwiches. Then we've got the sweet treats here, and then we've got the scones at the bottom, and these are lemon and blueberry scones, which I think are going to be delicious. Now, one of the things I want to mention is what you get with the scones. You get a white chocolate and strawberry kind of cream that's there. You get a normal clotted cream and then a jam. That is everything that you get in this. As I mentioned, you can refresh the sandwiches as well whenever you want. You can refresh your tea when you want. I'm going to get into my review now, and I'll let you know what I think of each tier, as well as my overall thoughts of the afternoon tea at the end once I've tried everything. Let's get started with our review, and we're going to start with the sandwiches. So you have 2 non-veggie ones and 2 veggie ones. You've got the chicken, the salmon, there's a egg mayonnaise, and then there's a cucumber. As you guys know, if you've been watching my reviews for a while, I'm not the biggest fan of cucumber sandwiches. I try them just to let you know what I think, but I'm biased in just generally disliking them. So let's start with the chicken sandwich. This is on a brown bread. Let's give it a taste test and see what we think. That is really delicious. It's a roast chicken sandwich. The chicken is really tasty. Everything about that tastes really high quality, and I really, really like it. Normally I prefer a coronation chicken sandwich, but you know what? That one is really lovely. Let's now move on to trying the smoked salmon sandwich. I really love smoked salmon and cream cheese, and I think having that on a brown bread as well works really, really well, really tasty. Everything about this just tastes really high quality, which I love. Moving on to the veggie sandwiches, so we've got an egg mayonnaise one, which I normally really like in an afternoon tea as well. This is again on a brown bread, so let's see what we think. That is delicious. That's another truffle egg mayonnaise sandwich. I love the truffle flavour with the egg. I think it works brilliantly, and I feel like a lot of London afternoon teas have got the memo on that that's the way to go. That's definitely my favourite of the 3, and I feel like whenever there's a truffle egg sandwich, it always ends up being my favourite. Let's move on to the final sandwich. So this is a cucumber sandwich. It's on a white bread. These tend to be my least favourite, but let's see what we think. Seeing as I don't normally like cucumber sandwiches, that one is pretty good, and actually I would eat the whole thing. The cucumber in it is very crunchy and fresh, and it works really well with the cream cheese that they paired with it. So I would say overall, I would give the sandwiches, I think I'm going to do a 4.5. They're not quite a 5 because I've had better ones. I'm going to mention Atlantis the Royal Afternoons Tea. The sandwiches there were incredible, so it's not quite at that level, but I will say they're still very good, and as I mentioned, you do get to refresh them, so you can have as many sandwiches as you want with the afternoon tea. Okay, I've finished with the sandwiches now. I ate 3 out of 4 of them. The one that I end up leaving is, surprise, surprise, the cucumber one, and the only reason I left it was because it's just not my favourite thing, and I just feel like I don't want to fill up on sandwiches when I've got scones and the kind of sweet treats to eat as well and tell you about. So I've left a bit of space, but now we are moving on to reviewing the scones, and here's what they look like. I think this one is a blueberry one, and this is a plain lemon flavoured one. These look incredible. I cannot wait to try them, and they still feel slightly warm, which I love with an afternoon tea. They brought out a little tray which has the jam, the cream, and then this white chocolate and raspberry thing in it as well, and I love the way this is presented. It just feels so luxurious. You guys know I love all these little details. These are the things that I think make the higher price points of some afternoon teas worth it, because it's about the overall experience, not just the food and the drink that you're getting with it, and I feel like this is just laid out beautifully. So let's try the scones and see what we think. I'm going to start with the blueberry one because I love blueberry, and I'm excited to see what this will actually taste like. So let's try this one just with the classic cream and jam. Of course, I'm also putting the cream on first. As you guys know, I always like to do that. So I'm going to start with that on here, and then I'll put the jam on and I'll do a taste test and let you know what I think. Here is what the scone looks like, all loaded up with the cream and the jam. Let's do a taste test and see what we think. That is delicious. It's just so light and beautiful. It's really, really tasty. Really, really like this. I love this as a twist on a fruit scone because normally they have raisins in them, which I like, but I definitely prefer blueberries. I think it's just a really lovely, subtle flavour, whereas the raisins can sometimes be a bit sharp. Just poured myself some more tea. Let's now try the plain scone, see what we think of this one. I'm going to try this one with the white chocolate and raspberry cream that comes with it, just to try something different and see what I think. I've spread the white chocolate and raspberry on there the best that I can. It's not looking the prettiest. It's quite like a thick paste, so it's quite hard to spread onto the scone, but I'm interested to see how it tastes. So let's give it a taste test and see what we think. It's nice to have something different. I will say, I find that a little bit sickly. It's a bit too much for me, so I don't think I'm going to put it on the rest of my scones, but I'm glad I tried it. If you like super sweet things, and especially if you like white chocolate, you will really like this. Just for me, with the scone and this on top, it's a little bit too much of a sweet flavour. Plain scone itself was nice, but as I mentioned, I just think the white chocolate and I think it's raspberry paste, it's just a bit too much for me. So overall, I would give those scones a 4 out of 5. I think they're really good. I like that they've got something a bit different included in there. I personally just wasn't the biggest fan of it, although I know maybe some of you will like it. I've only eaten half of each scone because if I eat all of them, I honestly will not have space for the rest of the afternoon tea. So I'm going to leave the second halves of them for now. I might come back to them at the end if I've got space, but let's move on to the sweet treats and see what we think of them. Here's the sweet treats for this afternoon tea. They look incredible. They are so pretty. I cannot wait to eat these. You get 4 included. There's one chocolate mousse, there's like a pavlova, a choux bun and a little tart. So I'm going to try each of them and I'll let you know what I think of each. So let's start with this cute little choux bun. I think this is raspberry and pistachio. How cute does that look though? I cannot wait to try this and to see what I think. It has pistachio inside, which I feel is really trendy at the moment because of Dubai chocolate. So let's see what we think of the flavour. That is really tasty. It's definitely a delicate flavour, but I really like it paired with the sharpness of the raspberry. I also feel like these are all really good sizes. They're nothing too overwhelming. You could definitely share this with 2 people, but I think for one, it's not a crazy amount of food either. Let's try this cute little apricot tart. These all come on these gold little handles, so it's really easy to just pick them up and to try them. Let's see what we think of this one. That is really good. I think that's my favourite out of the 2 that I've tried so far, which is really surprising because apricot normally isn't my favourite of flavours. It's really tasty. It's got a hint of basil with it as well, which I think is just lovely and it adds to the flavour profile. So that one is really nice. Highly recommend trying that. Next, let's try this pavlova. How incredible does this look? I think it just looks so pretty. I'm definitely gonna have to cut into this because there's no way that is gonna fit in my mouth as it is. Let's cut into this and see what we think. It's a bit tougher than I was expecting. It's kind of hard to cut into this and I feel like it's gonna go flying if I use too much pressure. So I'm trying to be gentle. I've managed to get part of it onto a fork. So let's try this and see what we think. That is so lovely and fresh. I love it. Honestly, these are outstanding. These are definitely the best part of the afternoon tea here. Finally, we have the chocolate mousse to try. Again, this just looks beautiful. I'm going to cut into this, do a little taste test and let you know what I think. Got some on the fork. Let's see what we think. That is really tasty as well. I sometimes find chocolate can be a little bit too sickly, but this one isn't. Definitely not too much. I think if you had the white chocolate and raspberry on your scones, that would be way too much after it, which is why I would avoid that white chocolate and raspberry with the scones, because I just think it's a bit too sickly, bearing in mind you've got a whole course of sweet treats after the scones. But overall, all 4 of those are delicious. I have absolutely destroyed them, as you can probably see on my plate. I'm going to try and eat the rest of them because I don't want to leave anything and waste it. And I will let you know my final thoughts once I've eaten everything. But just rating the sweet treats, I would give these 5 out of 5. They are delicious and definitely the highlight of the afternoon tea. So I have finished my afternoon tea at the Landmark. It was really good. I highly recommend coming here if you've got a special occasion that you want to celebrate. It's such a lovely special afternoon tea. Everything just feels so well thought out. There's a beautiful pianist playing while you're enjoying it, so it's just a lovely atmosphere. I would give it overall a 4.5 out of 5. I think it was really, really good. There's a few little bits where I feel like I've had better in other places, but overall I really, really enjoyed it. So I hope you've enjoyed watching my review, and I will see you guys in my next video. Like I mentioned, let me know if there's any specific afternoon teas in London that you want me to review, or places in London that you want me to find afternoon teas for, or even budgets as well, if you want me to try and find the most cost-effective ones or the most luxurious ones, anything like that. Let me know in the comments and I will try to film those reviews for you guys as well.